Good afternoon from Browns Bay. It's day 22, and we're still incarcerated, in a sense, I suppose. And the question I want to ask you today is this: what kind of a witness are you when things aren't going very well? I heard of a great story of a woman who was stuck in traffic and really got mad at the drivers cutting in front of her. She was hooting a hoot and yelling and showing all kinds of particular hand signals out of the window that you wouldn't really see in the driver's learner handbook. And she didn't notice a policeman in the car behind her, who promptly arrested her. After some hours in jail, the officer came and spoke to her apologetically and said to her, "Madam, with the stickers on your car that announce that Jesus is the way and that God is love, and looking at your behavior, I assumed you had stolen the car." Well, what kind of a witness are we? Part of our witness as followers of Jesus is consistency, whether our words and our behavior lines up. So be careful what bumper stickers you put on your car if you do that these days. When you think of Bible characters, there are a number of them that you could look at, and if you read their history, you would say, I'm not sure if I can believe them. David, for example, did some pretty terrible things, taking someone else's wife, putting the husband in the front line to be killed. The list will go on. It's in the midst of a crisis in Psalm 55, which I think I mentioned yesterday, where he says, if I had the wings of a dove, I'd fly away. It's in the midst of that crisis, which is actually a story of betrayal. He says this in Psalm 55, verse 22, "Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you." He had a consistency which is reflected in his other songs about God being a provider, the good shepherd, and so forth. Peter, who denied Jesus and did a few other things that would not really be consistent in a sense. He was a bit up and down, wasn't he? When he's older, he writes a letter in the context of persecution, and what does he say? Cast your anxiety on him because he cares for you. And then, of course, Paul, classic example of a guy who was totally committed and passionate but dead wrong, who was there when the first Christian martyr was stoned and approved it. When he writes letters from jail, there's something there for us, I think, in this lockdown about writing letters to people. When he writes letters from jail, he says, don't be anxious about anything. And of course, you know what I'm going to say. But in everything, by prayer and petition, present your requests to God with thanksgiving, of course, and then the peace of God, transcending understanding, will guard our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Ultimately, Jesus is the one who is really the only consistent one when you think about it. His life was threatened from the beginning of his ministry, and he's the one who says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and don't be afraid. He's the one who says, who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life? He's the one who on the cross is the ultimate advertisement of consistency, where he says, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. Now, substitute your name for the lady in the car with the bumper sticker, or David, or Peter, or Paul, or Jesus. Say Robin, or Judy, or Sharon, or George, whoever you are, anyone you can think of. And think about the witness that you are, or that I am, when things are difficult. I think it's a great challenge, isn't it? To be helpful witnesses so that the bumper stickers in our lives line up with what comes out of our mouths. And of course, what comes out of our mouths reflects what's in our hearts. So that's the thought for today. I hope you're having a good day, and God bless you. We'll talk again. Take care, and goodbye from Browns Bay.